Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. It is February 4th, 2020. It is 7 p.m. Call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. I will have the prayer tonight, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be with Vice Mayor Brown. If everyone would please rise for the prayer and the pledge. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we just ask that you would put your hand upon our city, be with our emergency responders, both police, fire, EMS, and keep them safe throughout their roles throughout the city. We ask that you will be with the leadership to make the right decisions to move this city forward. We ask that you bestow your grace upon us. We thank you, Lord, for your gift of Jesus Christ. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is to approve the minutes from the January 9th, 2020 public hearing and January 9th, 2020 regular meeting. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion to accept as submitted.
I have a motion to accept as submitted by Alderman Jones. Need a second?
A second.
Second by Vice Mayor Brown. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes pass. Moving on to department reports. SWAT Medic Clark.
I apologize for my attire. Another agency has taken up some of my time today. As you see in the report, 274 calls. Also placed in some notes of our fire marshal's office. I think that we've kind of neglected giving you information on that office and all the good things that they're doing. And also our admin report.
I like the condensed format of the new report.
Thank you.
Any questions about the report? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on to the police department. Chief Walker.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. I've got a special person that's pretty close to me. I'm going to ask to come in just a second. It's a new special friend that I got this year. Hi, Grinchy. How are you? This is one of my best friends anywhere in the world now. And I want to thank the Grinch for all you did this holiday season during Christmas and all the rest of the time, Thanksgiving, et cetera, and helping in our community to make people smile, laugh, and have warm hearts. I think they were leaking, a lot of them, because of you. But it was really, really nice to have that this year. And you helped spread the word so much for our safety messages, particularly porch pirates, et cetera, keys under flower boxes on the porch, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you, Grinch. See ya. Thank you for letting me do that. That's something that did get done when it should have in January because of various other things that were going on. But the Grinch really helped this season with all those things.
Well, it didn't help the Grinch being in Whoville for a little bit. Had to go home and visit.
Take a break. That's true. And Santa Cop, if you'll notice, my face is cold. Looks better, doesn't it? Well, maybe to most. I got one that said they liked it. There's the information in the packet, you'll see January total calls for service were down. That's just the first month in the calendar year. But the fiscal year to date is actually down July through January as well. Slightly, not a lot, less than 1,000, but we've seen some decrease. One of the things you will be receiving is, in that next one, you can take a look at this later, and then you will be receiving something I just got this afternoon and was able to put together, and that is a decade of Tibers Group A offenses in a decade, but it's not done yet. That's the reason you don't have it, but in the next day or so, I'll get it to you and email it. You can see the progression, and there'll be some explanations about numbers from 14 through actually 18, because we know we had 362 duplicate cases that were reported in 18. But for example, 2016, it was 5238, and that was double. Everything was being duplicated because of the software issues we had and double key. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank.
Moving on to Parks and Recreation, Mr. David McGowan.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board, thank you. You have parks numbers for the month of January. You see some of our projects listed there. City Hall remodel, we're still doing that one. That one's in process. Some of our past events, Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. Appreciate all you guys coming out and supporting us. We had a pretty good turnout that day. This past Saturday was our father-daughter dance. Upcoming events, we're having another master plan screening, 5:30 to 7 at the library on March the 10th. You do not have to stay that whole time. If anybody watching wants to come out and you got 10 or 15 free minutes, we just ask you to come by and give us your input on that. You see our upcoming meetings there, Park and Rec Advisory with the Greenway. That's going to be a joint meeting. Then the Park and Rec is going to follow that one up, and then our Senior Center Advisory. Any questions?
Yes. Can you speak a little bit on where we're at with the playground at Veterans Memorial Park?
Half of it has been mulched. All the equipment is in. We're waiting for them to come back. I guess it's kind of waiting on the weather right now. So when they get the other half mulched, we're going to do our part, try to rehab the swings, the benches that are there. So we're shooting for a reopening maybe the last Saturday of February or the first Saturday in March.
Wonderful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance Department, Ms. Phyllis Rogers.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. You have your report in front of you for the month of December cumulative. Just want to mention a couple of things that's going on in Finance and Water Billing and Property Tax Department. We have a new employee, Nicole Crawley, that has joined us in the Water Billing Department. Her position will be is a new position that we've that you all allowed us to fill this fiscal year. She will mainly be working on past due issues, water loss auditing, billing audits, customer account audits, and sending various letters out to customers. We have begun experimenting with sending out letters for past due notices. As of the end of December, we had sent out letters to all customers that were on our books that had past due balances up through the end of 2019. This will help us to hopefully collect as much as possible before we have to send them over to collections. We're also sending out final bill reminders because of the way we're building the rears. You know, sometimes it's 2 months before customers get their final bill. And as far as the Finance Department, My Benefits channel, which is part of our upgrade to our local government financial package, has been installed and is up and running. Employees can now access W-2s and check stub, et cetera, online. We're currently working on budget models. Probably be contacting the department heads late in the month, 1st of March, to go over starting the budget process. Property taxes, I looked today, and we had collected 58.5% of the budget. which is approximately $4.5 million of the $7.8 million that we budgeted as compared to last year. Last year, we had collected 61.8% at this time, so we're a little bit, well, collections are down just a little bit, but of course, February is our busy month, so we have to do some catch-up this month. Any questions about the report or anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Library Department, Ms. Donna Bebout.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen, good evening. For the month of January, you can see that the numbers that we have there represent 25 days that we were open. One thing that stays very consistent is our patron computer usage. Our patrons really enjoy that we do have internet accessible computers for them, and especially right now during the tax season, many of them are coming in, pulling off some of the paperwork that they need, and so it's been very helpful. And speaking of taxes, our volunteer income tax assistant, which is through the United Way of Rutherford and Cannon Counties program, we started Saturday. I text the mayor. They could take 24 to 25 people. At 9:05, we were at capacity. Wow. So it's very much needed, very much used. Everyone that came in were helped, and it went very, very smooth. I appreciate our staff helping out as much as they did. They really helped in crowd control and getting people to where they needed to be. Of course, we'll be doing this every Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Our last day will be April the 4th at the library. One area that programming, we have a really tough time getting those people in is our teen programs, our middle school and high school kids. We really want them to come and enjoy the library. We have so many resources for them, and we used to do like a craft day and things of this sort. Just didn't go over real well. So we're going to start going back to once a month. We're doing a game day. We have an Xbox there at the library in our teen room, which is behind the computer lab. We have the guitars that go with it. We have the little exercise boards they jump on. And then we have just plain old Mario Kart and all of that fun stuff. We will have snacks because teens like snacks. So we will have snacks there. We'll also have some board games out. And we would just love for any middle or high school student to come on Saturday, February the 15th from 2 to 4. Again, they don't have to stay the whole time, or they can stay the whole time. It's up to them. We will have a staff member in with them, but they will have a time to socialize and just have a good time with their peers. So we're hoping to really build that program. One more program I want to talk about a little bit that's very popular at the library, has been popular for at least 15 years, is our American Girl Doll Tea Party. Each year, we choose a doll. Most of the time, it's the Girl of the Year. And this year, we have chosen Nanea. And Nanea is from Hawaii. And we're having Nanea's Aloha Tea Party. So everything will be decorated like an aloha, and one lucky participant will receive a doll. It's the American Girl doll. And so every year there's always a lot of excitement. We have 52 seats available. They fill up very quickly. So tickets can be picked up beginning this Saturday. It's kind of like tax day. We'll have a crowd there waiting at 9 o'clock to pick up their tickets for the American Girl Tea Party. And of course, everyone is invited, boys, girls. There's an American doll that's a boy. His name was Grant. No, I'll get back with you. It was Tenny's friend, Tenny Grant, because she was from Tennessee. She was a musician, and her friend played the guitar or the drums. Okay, never mind. So you can find all the details about our programs on our website at catalog.lavergnetn.gov. Any questions that I possibly can answer without flubbing up?
I love the thing about the teens, because I know a lot of teens don't care much about reading, but if you can make it kind of fun, maybe you can get them into, do you do anything with the schools to advertise it or let them know?
We do, and most of the time, we do that during summer. We are looking to reach out more so. We have a great partner now with Carissa Bennett. She is Carissa Benton. She is the librarian at Laverne High School now, and so she comes over. She actually teaches one of our classes there at the library. So we're going to partner up to try to get the information out to those teens over there.
Good.
I have a statement on your newsletter. Great job
Thank you.
on the keeping it in the house. It looks as professional as anything that we could ever went out and bought, I think.
I appreciate that. I have to give kudos to Carol Brown. Carol is great with Publisher. I gave her kind of my vision of what I would like for the layout to be, and next thing I know, she has this on my desk. And now this one has been tweaked and retweaked and updated many times. Glenn has helped me with that, but we're getting there. And I think having the 3 months out is really working well. But thank you for that compliment, and I'll pass it on to Carol.
Ms. Donna, one other thing.
Yes.
Logan, the American Girl doll.
Yes.
The boy is Logan.
What was his name?
Logan.
Logan. Yes, that was it. Logan. Yes. Thank you. Now, did you just pull that out of your head? Out of your phone. I love it.
The internet knows everything.
Yes, it does. Logan.
Thank you.
Now we'll never forget that. Thank you all.
Water treatment plant, Mr. Greg Purcell.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board. In the month of January, the water plant treated 117.8 million gallons of water, delivered 100.8 million gallons of water to the citizens of Laverne. We always like to remind people if they have a complaint about their water or have an issue or have a question, or if they're having a pressure issue, to give us a call, 615-793-6536. Use option 2. You'll get somebody at the water plant. We'll take it down and come out and investigate the situation for you. One thing I wanted to bring up was the TOC removal for January. It was 63.2%, and of course, the requirement's 15. So I think it was 4 point some times better than the required. All of the maintenance was done for the month of January. Any questions?
So this last month, there was, we got several, I had personally got several calls, and I just forwarded them straight to you guys on the odor. Can you explain that little hiccup or what the little spike in the odor?
I hadn't had any calls about the odor.
Okay.
I think we had, on the customer complaints, we had, I think 1 or 2 that was discoloration.
Okay.
And that actually came from the internet people doing some boring next to the lines, shaking them up. I think there was a main break because of that too. That was some issues there. Mainly it was pressure complaints.
Pressure complaints, great.
I wasn't aware of the odor.
I think it's working out better when we forward them to you guys.
Yes, sir.
You know, because we don't have the technical terms and get them to you, and you put them firsthand.
Yes, sir. We take that, we take the information, and that day we go out, unless it's late in the evening or late in the afternoon. Sometimes we'll still go out. If not, we go out the next morning. So,
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
thank you.
Moving on to H, Public Works Department, Mr. Garland Russell.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. This is for the month of January. You'll notice our brush pickups are down. We're running the brush truck maybe once or twice a week until summertime. We've got other things we're doing, part of pothole patching, we're trimming some trees, just different things. And shop's staying pretty busy with preventive maintenance. And I know y'all don't have anything to do, but we have our MARTA in April. I think we count 140 vehicles has got to go through it in 4 hours. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Utilities Department, Mr. Michael Dietz.
Mayor Alderman, good afternoon. Pretty typical month for the Water and Sewer Department. There were 3 mainline repairs, one of which was actually a break that took place on Minerva. Crews was on site within an hour, had the water back restored, back to the customers. The other was Bonaco that we talked about last meeting that was hit by the boring contractor. And there was a 6-inch valve that was identified during the service line repair that we replaced while on site. To add to what Greg said, there were 2 additional service line repairs that were hit by the boring contractor. Both areas were marked, in which they have been billed for, because I know that was a discussion last month. So they were invoiced, and we're expecting payment on that. Sewer department using some of this rainy weather to our advantage, looking for I-9 in the collection system. We was able to locate a manhole in Benton Mason that had pretty significant rainwater getting in. That repair is scheduled to take place. Also was able to locate a manhole on Industrial Boulevard that was buried and has been buried probably since the day that it was installed. Other thing I'd like to note, the fire rental meters. We received a lot of calls this month from residents seeing contractors hooking up to the fire hydrants, notifying us of them possibly stealing water, which we really appreciate. There was none of the calls that we responded to, anyone was actually stealing the water. They had actually come down, purchased one, or put a deposit down for our meter. But we appreciate the awareness and letting us know, because in the past we did have problems with people stealing water. Any questions?
So what do? We assign a meter to each crew?
Yes, so they come in, put a deposit down, $1,600 deposit. We go out and install that meter on the hydrant, and
Okay.
they're allowed to get water from there, and then we charge them once they come in, return the meter.
And we just take it out of their deposit?
Out of their deposit, yes, sir.
Great.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, sir.
Human Resources, Cheryl Lewis-Smith.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. I'd like to report that Planet Fitness participation is off and running. We are in orbit, and it's a universe of wellness. I am so excited that we finally brought this to fruition, and the employees are really taking advantage of this. Our full-time employees, of course. So we're excited that it has finally come to fruition, and we look forward wonderful days ahead. Also want to say that our performance review document has been reviewed by department heads, and we will launch that again July of this year for 6 months of employee performance. And we're excited about that, and we're moving forward. Also want to let everybody know that Richard Stokes retired from MTAS. So that is something that I know some of you have participated in classes. He is no longer with MTAS, but he will still be working with our Human Resource Association as an executive director. Are there any questions about anything else that's going on in Human Resources?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to old business, second reading ordinance 2020-01, an ordinance to amend Title II, Chapter 6, Section 2-601 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding the membership of the Local Emergency Planning Committee. This goes in and basically changes the wording to Codes Department versus Fire Inspector. Any questions? Okay, we'll take a motion to approve or deny.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Vice Mayor Brown. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Jones. Alderman Church.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
A second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. All in favor? Aye. Consent agenda passes. Moving on to new business. Resolution 2020-02. This is a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare a property owned by the city to be surplus to the city needs, directing disposal of the same. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman No. Alderman Church.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution 2020-03, a resolution to approve a land acquisition policy for the Cheney Woods Interceptor Sewer Line Project. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
A second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Church.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution 2020-04, a resolution to accept the subdivision Cottages of Lake Forest, Phase 4. This received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on January 28th, 2020. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman No. Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Church?
Aye.
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
Resolution passes. First reading ordinance 2020-02, an ordinance to amend Title II, Chapter 3, Section 2-301 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding the membership of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor Brown. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Jones. Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Church?
Aye.
Alderman Jones? Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
First reading passes. Moving on to number 10, and that is appoint or remove board and committee members. First one is the Board of Zoning Appeals. We've got one term vacant, and we've got two terms that expired on 1/31 of 2020. So I will recommend that Mr. Coates, Mr. Pollock, and Ms. Dandler all get appointed to this board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
They are appointed. Moving on to B, we have the Construction Board of Adjustment and Appeals. We have one term vacant and two terms that expired on 1/31 of 2020. We do have one applicant, which is Mr. David Waldron, who would like to continue to be on this board. And we've got several openings as well. I'll go ahead and put Mr. Waldron back on there. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to the Greenway Advisory Committee. Looks like Miss Leslie Ballard's term ended at the end of January. She is the only applicant. I'll put her back on that board. All in favor?
Aye.
And then last, we have got D, the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. We have, let's see here, one vacant term, two terms that have expired. So we'll go ahead and put back on there Miss Amy Brown, Miss Mary Jane Skinner, since they want to remain on this board, and put Miss Dandler on there for the vacancy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
And one opposed. Moving on to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman No.
No, sir, I'm good.
Alderman Church?
I'm good.
Alderman Jones?
I'm better.
Vice Mayor Brown?
It must not be as good as they are. I have a couple of announcements. On February 17th, the Parks and Rec Department and the Greenway Advisory Committee have combined efforts again. We would love to have people come to this meeting and give us their opinions on the Greenway and the parks and the master plan that we're working on to get a good strategy going forward, what our parks and our greenways will look like. That will be at 6 p.m., February the 17th. And in that same thread, on March the 10th at 5:30 p.m. at the library, we will have a master plan public screening. This is the time to come look, submit your opinions, let us know what direction you're wanting to head in, cast your vote, so to speak. Please don't miss this opportunity. We're excited to work together with the Parks and Rec Committee to get this effort on the ground and up and running. And one final announcement. I know that you've probably seen in the paper, there was a motorcycle accident in Smyrna just this week. Carl Burdett, a family friend, and I know his family, and I would just like you to keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I want to speak about something I know I've gotten several calls about. We've been experiencing some timing issues with our red lights on Murfreesboro Road at different intersections. And if you're noticing that there is a problem, I want to ask everyone to please reach out to our city engineer. His name is Adam Leach. His office phone number is 615-287-8703. And he is working with TDOT to get these issues addressed. We've already found some loop issues that we were able to address, but the timing issue is tied to the smart corridor, and we really need to work with TDOT to get this rectified so that it benefits all Laverne residents. So please be sure to reach out to him if you have any problems with that. I do want to thank everyone who showed up today with the Business at Its Best Chamber Luncheon. It was a great luncheon where pretty much all the municipalities in Rutherford County, businesses across Rutherford County all got together and went through some of the successes that have occurred over the last year, as well as recognizing different individuals. I know we've had former board members and current board members there for the board of directors for the chamber. So it really was a great time for everybody. And other than looking forward to the State of the City address later this month, I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's. Call this meeting adjourned.